Iceland, the land of fire and ice. There exists an island forged by fire and sculpted by ice. A land where volcanoes erupt beneath glaciers, creating floods of biblical proportions, where geysers explode skyward with clockwork precision, where waterfalls cascade from lava cliffs into fjords carved by ancient ice. This is a place where the Earth's crust is literally tearing apart, where you can stand with one foot in North America and the other in Europe. Where hot springs bubble beside frozen tundra, where summer brings endless daylight and winter wraps the land in 20-hour darkness. Illuminated only by dancing auroras. Welcome to Iceland. You're about to discover a place where the Earth reveals its raw power, its capacity for both destruction and creation, its terrible beauty. Welcome to the land of fire and ice. The Golden Circle, Thingvellir, where continents divide. Thingvellir National Park is where continents literally pull apart. Walking through Almannagjá Gorge means walking between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, separating by 2 centimeters annually. The rocky walls belong to different continents, diverging as magma pushes from Earth's mantle. The ground is volcanic rock that didn't exist a few million years ago. The valley floor is fractured with fissures, each representing where crust split. Silfra Fissure offers diving between continents in water, so clear visibility exceeds 100 meters. The glacial meltwater, filtered through porous lava for decades, is brutally cold but pristine. Divers describe flying through liquid crystal. You can touch 2 continents simultaneously. But Thingvellir transcends geology. This valley hosted the Alþingi, Iceland's parliament established in 930 CE, one of the world's oldest. For centuries, chieftains gathered here to settle disputes and pass laws. The law rock, Lögberg, is where the law speaker recited Iceland's legal code from memory. In 1000 CE, Thingvellir witnessed Iceland's decision to adopt Christianity through democratic vote rather than conquest. Standing at Lögberg, you're where Iceland's identity was forged. where Vikings transformed from raiders into legislators. This is Iceland in microcosm. Fire and ice, history and geology combined in landscapes that defy categorization. From viewpoints above, the rift's scale becomes apparent, extending across Iceland's interior. To the north lies Langjökull Glacier, feeding rivers that cascade into Thingvellir. This convergence of tectonic forces, glacial hydrology, and human history creates landscape of layered significance, where Earth's internal forces manifest visibly, and where civilization adapted to geology's demands. Geyser and Strokur. The word geyser comes from Glacier, Iceland's famous hot spring that gave all geysers their name. Though geyser itself is mostly dormant, erupting only after earthquakes, its neighbor Strokur performs reliably every 5 to 10 minutes, shooting boiling water and steam 20 to 40 meters skyward. Strokur announces eruptions with increased bubbling. Water churns and swirls, forming a dome that stretches upward like a liquid balloon before exploding violently. The eruption lasts mere seconds, but is spectacular. Tourists crowd around with cameras, trying to time the perfect shot, challenging since exact timing varies. Between eruptions, the pool shows convection currents as cold water sinks and hot water rises. Underground, water superheats beyond boiling point, but pressure prevents boiling. When pressure releases, water flashes to steam, forcing the dramatic eruption, a cycle powered by magma chambers kilometers below. The surrounding geothermal area features steaming vents, bubbling mud pots, and mineral-stained ground. The sulfur smell announces volcanic gases from Earth's interior. Minerals precipitate from superheated water, painting landscapes in vivid yellows, oranges, and reds. The ground is warm to touch in places, dangerously hot in others. Signs warning visitors to stay on marked paths are serious. Breaking through fragile crust into boiling water has caused severe injuries. This isn't just spectacle. Iceland harnesses this volcanic heat for energy, heating 90% of homes geothermally, generating electricity from steam. The force that once made Iceland barely habitable now powers a modern, sustainable society, making Iceland a world leader in renewable energy. The geothermal activity represents Iceland's future as much as its present. Gullfoss, the Golden Falls, is arguably Iceland's most magnificent waterfall. The Vita River, fed by Langjökull Glacier, plunges 32 meters in 2 stages into a narrow canyon. The power is immense. 140 cubic meters of water per second on average, increasing to over 2,000 during spring melt. Viewing platforms bring you close enough to feel the mist, hear the roar, sense the raw power of glacial water carving through ancient lava. Rainbows form constantly in the spray when sunlight breaks through Iceland's clouds. In winter, ice formations along the edges create impossible beauty. Though the main cascade never freezes due to sheer volume and force. The fall's name comes from the golden hue that sunset light creates in the mist, or possibly from golden-colored glacial sediment in the water. The canyon walls show layers of basalt from successive lava flows, each representing an eruption separated by centuries. The river has carved through these layers over millennia, creating the narrow gorge into which the falls plunge. Gullfoss nearly became a hydroelectric dam in the early 20th century. Foreign investors sought to harness the fall's power, but Sigridur Tómasdóttir, daughter of the land's owner, walked to Reykjavik repeatedly to protest. Legend says she threatened to throw herself into the falls if construction proceeded. Whether through her determination or legal complications, the project was abandoned. Gullfoss remains free-flowing thanks to this early environmental activism, a reminder that preservation requires defenders. Today, Gullfoss welcomes hundreds of thousands of visitors annually, generating far more economic value through tourism than it would have produced through hydroelectric power. The Golden Circle's 3 sites encapsulate Iceland's essence: tectonic forces, volcanic heat, glacial water, and human history intertwined. The South Coast. Waterfalls of the South. Seljalandsfoss offers a unique experience. You can walk behind it. A pathway leads around the falls, allowing you to stand between falling water and cliff face. The experience is exhilarating and soaking wet. Spray drenches anyone attempting the circuit, but the view from behind the water curtain justifies discomfort. Sunlight filters through falling water, creating rainbows across moss-covered rock. The sound is overwhelming, making conversation impossible. The cliff from which Seljalandsfoss falls was once Iceland's coastline. The Atlantic reached this far inland before volcanic activity added new land to the south. Standing behind the waterfall, you're where ocean waves once crashed, now 30 kilometers from the current shore. A dramatic transformation within 10,000 years, geological yesterday. Nearby Skogafoss contrasts Seljalandsfoss's elegance through sheer power. 60 meters high and 25 meters wide, Skogafoss produces mist visible from kilometers away. The spray creates constant rainbows, sometimes doubles when conditions align. Legend claims Viking treasure is hidden behind Skogafoss, left by settlers who knew Iceland's inhabitants would need wealth to survive this harsh land. The treasure has never been found, but legend persists, adding mystery to beauty. A staircase beside Skogafoss climbs over 400 steps to the cliff top, offering views across Iceland's southern lowlands to the Atlantic. The climb is challenging, but the perspective is extraordinary. From above, you see how the Skoga River approaches the cliff edge, how the land falls away dramatically. How the waterfall is merely one point in the river's journey from glacier to ocean. Both waterfalls demonstrate Iceland's constant transformation. Water carving rock, landscapes evolving, the island reshaping itself through erosion and deposition. Black sand beaches. The black sand beaches of Iceland's south coast create landscapes of stark, alien beauty. Reynisfjara, near the village of Vik, is the most famous. Volcanic basalt sand, ground fine by millennia of wave action, creates beaches as black as coal. The contrast with white foam from Atlantic breakers is dramatic, almost artificial in its extremity. But Reynisfjara's beauty is deceptive and dangerous. The beach is one of Iceland's most hazardous locations. Sneaker waves, unusually large waves that arrive without warning, regularly sweep tourists off their feet, dragging them into frigid waters. The undertow is powerful. The water temperature lethal. Multiple drownings have occurred despite warnings and barriers. The Atlantic Ocean, even in summer, shows no mercy to human error or ignorance. The beach's basalt columns, formed when lava cooled rapidly, create natural cathedrals of geometric precision. The hexagonal columns, fitting together like a giant's causeway, demonstrate how cooling lava contracts and fractures in predictable patterns. These, Formations, called garter, rise directly from the beach, creating caves and alcoves where locals once sought shelter from storms. The columns are so regular they appear man-made, but they're entirely natural, created by cooling processes that occurred millions of years ago. Offshore, the Reynistranger sea stacks rise from the ocean like petrified trolls. Which, according to Icelandic folklore, is exactly what they are. Legends describe two trolls attempting to drag a ship ashore when dawn broke, turning them to stone. The stacks are dramatic, especially during storms when waves crash against them with explosive force. Dyrhólaey Promontory, south of Reynisfjara, provides elevated views of the coast. The arch for which it's named, Dyrhólaey, means door hole island, is large enough for small boats to pass through. Puffins nest here in summer. Their comical appearance and clumsy flight making them tourist favorites. Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon. Jökulsárlón is the glacier lagoon that has become one of Iceland's most iconic locations. Here, Breidammerkurjökull Glacier, an outlet of massive Vatnajökull ice cap, calves icebergs into a deep lagoon created by glacial retreat. The icebergs, ranging from car-sized to house-sized, drift through the lagoon before floating through a short river into the Atlantic Ocean. The ice comes in shades of white and blue, the blue created by compressed ice absorbing all light wavelengths except blue. Some bergs contain black streaks. Volcanic ash from eruptions centuries ago, locked in ice and now released as the glacier melts. The icebergs drift slowly, pushed by wind and current, rotating to reveal new faces, constantly changing the lagoon's appearance. Boat tours navigate among the bergs, bringing visitors close to ice formations of sculptural beauty. Seals lounge on ice floes, indifferent to human presence. Arctic terns dive for fish in the frigid water. The atmosphere is serene despite the profound changes occurring. This lagoon didn't exist 60 years ago. It is formed entirely through glacial retreat, growing year by year as Breidammerkurjökull withdraws further into the mountains. The lagoon is now Iceland's deepest lake, over 250 meters at its deepest point, demonstrating how much ice has disappeared. Across the highway from Jökulsárlón lies Diamond Beach, where icebergs that float into the Atlantic are pushed back onto black sand beaches by waves. The ice glistens like scattered diamonds on dark sand, creating one of Iceland's most photographed scenes. The contrast is extreme, frozen purity meeting volcanic darkness. Temporary ice meeting eternal sand. The bergs, battered by waves, polished to transparency. Capturing and refracting light in ways that seem almost artificial. Walking Diamond Beach. At sunrise or sunset, when low-angle light transforms ice into glowing gems, feels like wandering through a jewelry display created by nature. But the beauty is melancholy. Each diamond represents glacial loss, ice that took centuries to form now melting in hours. Volcanic Iceland. Eyjafjallajökull, the volcano that stopped Europe. Eyjafjallajökull became internationally famous in 2010 when its eruption disrupted global air travel for weeks. The volcano's name, unpronounceable to most non-Icelanders, became a household word as ash clouds closed airspace across Europe, stranding millions of travelers. But the eruption, though globally disruptive, was moderate by Icelandic standards. The volcano sits beneath a glacier. Eyjafjallajökull means island mountain glacier, creating explosive interaction between lava and ice. Meltwater mixed with volcanic ash created massive floods called Jökulhlaups. Ash plumes rose to over 9 kilometers, spreading across the Atlantic. The eruption demonstrated Iceland's capacity to impact global systems, despite being a small island nation. The ash was particularly problematic for aircraft. Fine volcanic glass particles can melt in jet engines, causing catastrophic failure. Airlines had no choice but to ground flights, creating the largest air travel disruption since World War II. The economic impact exceeded billions of dollars in lost revenue and productivity. Today, you can visit Eyjafjallajökull and see the landscape it transformed. The glacier has retreated significantly since the eruption, melted by volcanic heat. New land has been created by lava flows and ash deposits. The farms buried by ash have been excavated, some preserved as museums, showing how quickly volcanic eruptions can change everything. The visitor center tells the story of the eruption from the perspective of local farmers who watched their land transform overnight, who had to evacuate repeatedly, who lost livestock and livelihoods. But Eyjafjallajökull is just one of Iceland's 30 volcanic systems, many of which pose greater threats. Its neighbor Katla, hidden beneath the larger Mýrdalsjökull glacier, erupts on average every 40 to 80 years and hasn't erupted since 1918. When Katla erupts again, and geologists agree it will, the impact could dwarf Eyjafjallajökull's disruption. Fagradalsfjall, the tourist eruption. In March 2021, the Reykjanes Peninsula erupted after 8 centuries of volcanic quiet. Fagradalsfjall volcano produced spectacular lava fountains and flows visible from Reykjavik, just 40 kilometers away. Unlike explosive eruptions, this was effusive, lava flowing rather than exploding, allowing relatively safe observation from designated areas. Thousands of Icelanders hiked to witness the eruption, treating it almost as entertainment despite obvious dangers. The eruption continued for 6 months, creating new lava fields covering over 3 square kilometers, adding new land to Iceland. The site became a tourist attraction with marked trails leading to viewpoints where you could stand meters from flowing lava, feeling the radiant heat, watching Earth's interior become Earth's surface in real time. The lava fountains sometimes reach 300 meters high, spraying molten rock into the air. At night, the glow was visible from Reykjavik, painting the sky orange. Helicopter tours offered aerial views of the lava lake, the active vents, the growing lava field. But Fagradalsfjall was merely the beginning. Additional eruptions occurred in 2022 and 2023 at different locations on the Reykjanes Peninsula. Suggesting the region has entered an active period that may continue for decades or centuries. The fishing town of Grindavik faces existential threat from new fissures opening nearby and underground magma intrusions. Residents have been evacuated multiple times. Ground is fracturing, buildings are cracking, roads are heaving. The question isn't if another eruption will occur, but when and where, and whether Grindavik can survive in its current location. These recent eruptions, while spectacular, are relatively benign compared to historical events. They remind Icelanders that their island is young, still forming, still dangerous. Living in Iceland means accepting that the ground beneath your feet is temporary. that volcanic eruptions are not disasters to be prevented, but natural processes to be respected and adapted to. The Northern Lights. Aurora Borealis, the fire in the sky. The Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights, transforms Iceland's winter sky into a celestial light show. These dancing curtains of green, purple, and red light result from charged particles from the sun colliding with Earth's atmosphere, causing gases to glow. Though scientifically explained, witnessing the aurora feels supernatural. Light that moves, pulses, dances across the sky in ways that seem almost alive. The lights appear most frequently near Earth's magnetic poles, making Iceland an ideal viewing location. From September through April, when nights are long and dark, the aurora can appear on clear nights. The best viewing requires darkness, clear skies, and minimal light pollution, conditions easily found outside Reykjavik and other towns. Watching the aurora is an exercise in patience and awe. The lights can appear suddenly, faint green glow on the northern horizon strengthening and spreading across the sky. Curtains of light ripple and fold like silk fabric blown by cosmic winds. Colors shift, mostly green from oxygen atoms, but sometimes red at higher altitudes, purple when nitrogen contributes. The aurora is silent, though legend claims you can hear it. Whispers and cracks like distant fireworks. Science finds no mechanism for aurora-generated sound. Yet many observers, including this writer, have heard something during particularly intense displays. Perhaps it's psychological, the mind creating sounds to match visual splendor. Or perhaps there's a phenomenon science hasn't yet explained. The Icelandic folklore surrounding the aurora is darker than you might expect. Some legends claim the lights are spirits of the dead dancing in the afterlife. Others warn pregnant women not to look at the aurora, lest their children be born cross-eyed. These tales reflect the aurora's unsettling beauty, something so strange it demands supernatural explanation. Photographing the aurora requires patience, tripod, long exposures, and luck. The lights must be strong enough and the sky clear enough. Many visitors see only faint glows that appear green in photos but barely visible to eyes. But when strong displays occur, no photograph can capture the experience. The movement, the scale, the overwhelming presence of light filling the sky, chasing the lights. Aurora hunting has become an industry in Iceland. Tour companies offer evening excursions, driving to locations away from light pollution, providing hot chocolate and folklore while waiting for the lights to appear. Success isn't guaranteed. Clouds, new moon phases, and solar activity all affect visibility. Some tours offer repeat trips if the first night fails, but many tourists have only 1 or 2 chances to see the aurora during their visit. The aurora forecast predicts activity on a scale from 0 to 9, based on solar wind measurements and Earth's magnetic field fluctuations. Forecasts of 3 or higher suggest good chances, though. Even level 1 can produce visible displays under perfect conditions. Cloud cover is often the greater obstacle. Iceland's weather is notoriously unpredictable, and overcast skies block even the strongest aurora. Independent aurora hunting means driving into darkness, stopping at promising locations, watching the sky. Apps provide forecasts and cloud cover predictions. The ritual becomes meditative, standing in cold darkness, breath fogging, eyes adjusting to night, scanning the northern sky for the first hints of green glow. When the aurora appears, other hunters arrive. Word spreading through social media and tour groups. Suddenly, a remote parking area fills with cars and people, all looking skyward, cameras clicking. The shared experience creates community among strangers, united in witnessing something extraordinary. The strongest auroras create full sky displays, light stretching from horizon to horizon, directly overhead, pulsing and dancing with visible movement. These are rare, requiring perfect conditions. But when they occur, they're unforgettable. During major geomagnetic storms, the aurora can be seen even in Reykjavik despite light pollution, occasionally reaching southern latitudes normally aurora-free. These events make headlines, drawing Icelanders outside to witness the show. Winter in Iceland is dark and challenging, but the aurora provides compensation. Beauty that justifies enduring long nights and harsh cold. Folklore and science. Ancient cultures worldwide developed myths explaining the aurora. Norse mythology described the Bifrost Bridge connecting Midgard to Asgard, sometimes manifesting as aurora. Finnish legends told of the fox whose tail swept sparks across the sky. Indigenous Arctic peoples had dozens of interpretations, spirits, omens, manifestations of natural forces beyond human understanding. Icelandic folklore surrounding the aurora is less developed than in some Arctic cultures, possibly because Iceland was settled relatively recently by people who brought Christian beliefs that displaced older pagan interpretations. But some folk beliefs persist. Pregnant women warned against watching the aurora, associations with death and spirits, respect for the lights as something beyond normal nature. Modern science explains the aurora through electromagnetic physics and atmospheric chemistry. Solar wind, charged particles streaming from the sun, interacts with Earth's magnetic field. The field funnels these particles toward the poles, where they collide with oxygen and nitrogen atoms in the upper atmosphere. The collisions excite these atoms, which release energy as light when returning to normal state. Oxygen produces green and red light. Nitrogen creates blue and purple. The altitude of collision determines color. Oxygen at lower altitudes creates the common green aurora, while oxygen at higher altitudes produces rare red aurora. The shape and movement result from magnetic field lines guiding charged particles, creating curtains aligned with field geometry. Understanding the science doesn't diminish the aurora's wonder. If anything, understanding that you're watching solar particles colliding with atmospheric gases hundreds of kilometers above Earth, guided by magnetic fields invisible to human senses, reveals the aurora as even more remarkable. This isn't myth or magic, it's physics creating beauty through processes operating at scales vast beyond human intuition. The aurora is a visible manifestation of our planet's relationship with the sun, a reminder that Earth exists in space, subject to cosmic forces that shape everything from climate to evolution to the lights that dance across polar skies. The glaciers. Vatnajökull, Europe's largest ice cap. Vatnajökull, meaning water glacier, is Europe's largest ice cap by volume, covering over 8% of Iceland with ice up to 900 meters thick. This massive glacier feeds numerous outlet glaciers that flow toward the coast like frozen rivers. The ice cap sits atop several active volcanic systems, including Iceland's most active volcano, Grímsvötn, which erupts every 5 to 10 years beneath the ice. When subglacial eruptions occur, the interaction between lava and ice is catastrophic. The heat melts enormous quantities of ice almost instantly, creating massive floods called jökulhlaups that surge toward the coast with devastating force. These floods carry icebergs the size of houses, volcanic debris, and sediment, transforming landscape within hours. Bridges designed to withstand normal floods are swept away. Roads disappear. The 1996 Grímsvötn eruption created a jökulhlaup with peak flow of 50,000 cubic meters per second, comparable to the Amazon River's flow. Vatnajökull's outlet glaciers create Iceland's most dramatic landscapes. Skaftafellsjökull, Svinafellsjökull, and others descend from the ice cap, their surfaces fractured with crevasses, their edges calving small icebergs into glacial lagoons. These glaciers are retreating rapidly due to climate change. Photographs from 50 years ago show ice extending kilometers beyond current positions. The retreat exposes new land, barren, rocky terrain that hasn't seen sunlight in centuries or millennia. Guided glacier walks allow visitors to explore these ice rivers safely. Equipped with crampons and ice axes, you walk across surfaces that are simultaneously solid and flowing. Crevasses split the ice, revealing depths where blue ice grades into darkness. Moulins, vertical shafts where meltwater drains into the glacier, plunge to unknown depths, the sound of falling water echoing from below. Ice caves form within the glaciers where meltwater carves tunnels. These caves are temporary, collapsing and reforming constantly, but when accessible, they're spectacular. Walls of crystalline blue ice, natural sculptures created by flowing water. Jökulsárlón's neighbor, Fjalsárlón. While Jökulsárlón attracts crowds, its neighbor Fjalsárlón offers a more intimate glacier lagoon experience. Fed by Fjalsjökull, an outlet of Vatnajökull, this smaller lagoon features fewer but often larger icebergs in a more confined space. The setting is dramatic. Steep mountains rising directly from the lagoon's shores, the glacier tongue descending between peaks. Icebergs floating in water so still it mirrors the sky. Boat tours navigate closer to the glacier face than is possible at Jökulsárlón, bringing you within meters of the calving zone where ice breaks from the glacier. The sound of calving is profound, deep groans and cracks as ice under immense pressure fractures, followed by the crash and splash as bergs fall into the water. The waves generated by large calving events can rock boats violently, reminding you of the forces involved. The ice here shows more variety than at Jökulsárlón. Some bergs are white with trapped air bubbles, others are blue from compression. Some contain layers of volcanic ash from past eruptions, black streaks frozen in white ice, creating abstract patterns. The largest bergs rise 10 meters above the water's surface, meaning 30 meters or more extends below. Massive ice sculptures slowly melting and rotating. The lagoon is deepening and expanding as the glacier retreats. Each year, the glacier face moves further up the valley, leaving more open water. Within a few decades, the glacier may retreat beyond the lagoon entirely, connected only by a river. This is happening across Iceland, glaciers withdrawing, lagoons growing, landscapes transforming. Scientists monitor these changes through repeat photography, satellite imagery, and direct measurement. The data is unequivocal. Iceland's glaciers are shrinking at accelerating rates, losing billions of tons of ice annually. This isn't just environmental concern, it's cultural loss. The glaciers define Iceland's identity and landscape. Their disappearance means the loss of features that have existed since the last ice age. Ice caves of Vatnajökull. Every winter, ice caves form beneath Vatnajökull's outlet glaciers, created by meltwater streams that carve tunnels through the ice. These caves are ephemeral, forming in autumn, accessible in winter when meltwater freezes, collapsing in spring when melt resumes. Each cave is unique, existing for one season before disappearing forever. Entering an ice cave is entering another world. The walls glow electric blue, ice so compressed that it absorbs all wavelengths except blue. Light filters through the ice, creating an ethereal luminescence that seems to come from the ice itself rather than external sources. The ceiling is ribbed and sculpted by flowing water, creating organic forms that resemble frozen waves. The floor is smooth ice, requiring crampons for traction. Some caves extend hundreds of meters into the glacier, winding tunnels leading deeper into darkness. Others are shorter, crystal chambers, where every surface reflects and refracts light. The experience is both beautiful and unsettling. You're inside a glacier, surrounded by thousands of tons of ice that's simultaneously solid and flowing. The ice creaks and groans as the glacier moves, subtle shifts and adjustments as pressure redistributes. These sounds are reminders that glaciers are dynamic, not static. They flow like very slow rivers, a few centimeters per day, grinding over bedrock, carving valleys, reshaping mountains. The caves can collapse without warning, making guided tours essential for safety. Professional guides monitor structural integrity, check weather conditions, assess risks before allowing access. They know which caves are stable, which are too dangerous when conditions are changing. Despite precautions, ice cave exploration involves inherent risk. You're entering a temporary structure in a dynamic environment. But the beauty justifies the risk for those who venture here. Photographs don't capture the experience, the sense of scale, the quality of light, the alien beauty of crystalline blue extending in every direction. Ice caves are Iceland's hidden wonders, accessible only to those willing to brave winter conditions and venture onto glaciers. Geothermal wonders. Blue Lagoon, the accidental paradise. The Blue Lagoon, Iceland's most famous geothermal spa, was created accidentally in 1976 when a geothermal power plant discharged superheated water into a lava field. The water, rich in minerals including silica and sulfur, collected in natural depressions, creating pools of milky blue water. Workers at the power plant began bathing in the lagoon, noticing improvements in skin conditions. Word spread, and what began as industrial runoff became Iceland's premier tourist attraction. Today, the Blue Lagoon is a sophisticated spa complex, but the water remains geothermal runoff from the Svartsengi power plant. The temperature is maintained at a comfortable 37–40 degrees Celsius year-round. The milky blue color comes from silica suspended in the water, which also gives the lagoon bottom its white appearance. The water is constantly flowing through. The entire lagoon is replenished every 40 hours, ensuring freshness and cleanliness. Bathing in the Blue Lagoon is a surreal experience. Steam rises from the surface, obscuring other bathers, creating an otherworldly atmosphere. The contrast is dramatic, floating in warm water while cold air chills your face, especially vivid in winter when snow